Learn to use social media the right way. Gents, welcome back to the channel. Now look, today's video is going to be a little bit of a reflection because this is something that I have fallen short on for the last couple of months, and just the other day I had a bit of a realization that I needed to get this back in control and reshape the way I'm using social media. So for a little bit of context, as you guys know, I obviously produce content online, and part of that is distributing the content across multiple platforms using Instagram, using TikTok, and putting out YouTube Shorts, as well as the content that I make here exclusively on YouTube. Now look, it is very, very easy in the dopamine-filled world of short-form content to find yourself lost, to find yourself consuming more than you are producing. And for the longest period of time, I stayed away from TikTok and Instagram for the exact purpose that I didn't want to find myself falling into this consistent loop of consumption and just becoming the product myself, swiping, liking, interacting with everybody else's stuff, but not producing myself. So what I did was I just kept myself off those platforms altogether and neglected my overall social presence. Now, a good few months ago, I decided, you know what, it's time to get back on the social media. But this time, I don't want to just, consume. I want to produce. So I started putting my content out there on Instagram, on TikTok, as well as on YouTube. But as the weeks and months went by, I have found myself falling back into the trap of consuming. Although I am producing every single day across those platforms, I have found myself consuming more than I would like to. And this has negative impacts on me because it means that there's, less time I have to do the things that I need to get done. Occasionally I'm less productive with the time that I have. And overall, I just don't like the feeling of being on these applications and consuming. Yes, I'm producing, but I don't like consuming at all. I don't want to be the product, So look, very recently, I discovered that there is a way to use these platforms without actually consuming them at all. You see, for example, TikTok has something called the TikTok Studio. YouTube has something called the YouTube Studio, whereby you can edit your videos and you can create content and put content on these platforms, post it the same way you normally would within these applications without actually being on the applications and having to see what everybody else is doing. Now, that is something for me that gives me more control over putting stuff out there but not consuming too much. And it made me want to sit down and make a video about it because look, we all fall short sometimes. We all have bad habits and tendencies and sometimes spend too much time on social media, but it is possible to use social media at the same time as not consuming too much social media. So look, if you are interested in building a personal brand, you are interested in starting a business, you can absolutely use these platforms without using them as such. It's just a matter of getting the damn apps off your phone away from you. Like for me, I know if I've got TikTok on my phone, I'll go on TikTok, I'll search for a little bit of inspiration around about a particular topic, try and take some notes, and more than not, I'm quite productive. But still, there is that element whereby if I have it, I will use it and I will find myself drifting away. Whereas if you use the TikTok Studio or the YouTube Studio, it's simply not possible. So guys, the point of this video is to kind of tell you, look, with social media, you can either be the guy who is creating content and putting stuff out there with an aim to help people, with an aim to solve a particular problem, or you can be the guy who consumes other people's content. Now for me, I don't want to be the consumer. I want to be the producer. I don't want to sit there and waste my time swiping through endless shorts, endless reels, endless TikToks, looking for something. I want to be the guy who's putting it out there. And it is possible to produce without consuming. You just have to be smart about it. If you want to access TikTok and you want to look at some TikToks, go on the computer. Use TikTok website rather than using it on your phone, having it so proximate to you. Because it can turn into a problem, guys. if you have the immediate access on your phone, whenever you get a little bit bored, whenever you think, oh, I don't know what to do with my time, you can just pull out TikTok and you can start swiping and scrolling. And by the time you've got fed up, you've wasted an hour, maybe 2 hours of your life just scrolling through this mindless content, which at the end of it, you can't really remember anything special. You know, you can't remember anything special. You can't remember anything that you learn. You can't remember anything that you think provided value to you. You've just gone through this binge of consuming. So instead, guys, my advice to you would be to get the apps off your phone. It's the step that I'm taking currently. It's a step I took a long time ago. But the difference was between then and now was that I'm not producing. You know, a lot of the argument about coming off social media is that, well, if I delete the apps, I can't produce and I can't, you know, put stuff out there. That's not true anymore. You absolutely can. You can go on TikTok Studio. You can go on YouTube Studio. I don't know if Meta have a studio at the moment, but there are ways in which you can post. You can go on the website of all three applications, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and create content through your laptop, but get it off your phone, guys. It's really not great. It's something that has harmed me, and it's something that I'm reflecting on right now. But if it's off your phone, it still doesn't mean that you can't produce. You can still produce in the same way. Just be smart about it. Download those studio apps and start putting out content, building your personal brand, building your business without the negative effects of having it so close to you. Because look, if we're honest with ourselves, we know deep down that 90% of the time we spend on these algorithms and these platforms is not productive. Just take away the possibility that when you are using these platforms, you are not being productive. If you don't have anything to consume, the only thing you can do is produce. Produce. If you don't learn to use these algorithms and these applications properly, they will use you. It's as simple as that. Your attention is literally making somebody else money. Do you want to be the guy who people are making money off, or do you want to be the guy who's making money? That's one way to look at it. But look, guys, I hope that you've taken some value from this video today. This is a raw insight, something I've been thinking about for the past few days. I was just getting a little bit unhappy with the amount of time I was spending on these platforms, and I was looking for a solution. How can I produce but not use the platforms or have them on my phone? And I found the answer. So very hopefully you now have some insight going forward, and you will be able to use social media in a bit of a healthier way going forward, minus consumption, increased production. But anyway, look, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like, subscribe to my channel for more from me, comment your thoughts down below. If you're interested, I have a free man's Discord community. I'm going to leave the link down below. And if you are interested in one-to-one coaching with me, of course, as always, the link is also down below. All you got to do is book yourself a slot, and I will see you on the other side. Guys, thanks for your time and attention, and I will see you in the next one.